Hey, good morning. It's Chaz Xavier. We're going to go over our Demon Hunter spec here in Prepatch 9.0.1. We have been changed a little bit. Not too big difference from where we were at to where we are now, other than the fact that we don't want to use Blade Dance anymore, which has like been the epitome of our stuff since I don't know beginning of Legion. Um, Blade Dance now is only targeting 5, and the dot damage that we were doing with Blade Dance is actually very, very small compared to it reduces the cooldown of I-Beam. Since I-Beam is a very good single target and does quite a bit of damage over the 1.7 seconds, we can do it to multiple pieces of damage. It kind of still becomes our cleave, which is really nice. But then having Chaos Strike do 721 damage, and it's very quick, and it can be refunded, makes this a little bit more cheesy, so we can just spam the ever bit of dog shit on this thing. It's just so insane how much we can actually spam it. Immolation Word is there. We still want to use this. If you've noticed, I've taken Burning Hatred off, which used to give us that extra fury over the 12 seconds. We don't need that extra fury, seeing how most of the time we're getting free cast of Chaos Strike anyway, and Chaos Strike is actually creating more orbs for us. I've went to Demon's Blades, and we've already been told on Wowhead and some of the other people that are inside of the Fellhammer who's doing some DH talking. Insatiable Hunger and Demon's Blades, they're definitely two to take over Burning Hatred. Just because you can get a little extra if you do mash Demon's Bites. You can control your Fury regen, or you can take your RNG Jesus chances with the Demon's Blades. Demon's Blades gives you that 60% chance, which gives you a little bit more damage output, and if you sim it, it's always going to be higher most of the time. Um, for me, it's been working. You kind of want to have to stay close to bosses and stuff like that. If you can't stay close to bosses, you might think about taking one of the other two. Burning Hatred still you want to, it's just kind of a generator at all times, kind of happens. Demonic Appetite's still something we want to use because when we're consuming those soul fragments we gain 30 fury. So if we do the math, 20 fury gaining 30 back if we do get the soul back. It's a free cast of Chaos Strike. So we're completely throwing Blade Dance out. That means if we're throwing Blade Dance out, Trail of Rain is no longer Trail of Ruin. Sorry, Trail of Ruin is not being taken, and First Blood is definitely not going to be taken. It just does too little. It's giving us a little more damage single target with First Blood, but if we're Chaos Striking incredible amounts, these two just become null and void. So it's not really that great. Other than that, Demon Hunters have been switched a little bit for less defensive. We used to be very, very strong in our defensive capabilities. Blur does a little bit less. Darkness does a little bit less. And Darkness being our raid cooldown, it's kind of not be seen as much or used as much because it's a little more insufficient. Nether Walk. This is the biggest change. Instead of having a 2-minute cooldown, now we have a 3-minute cooldown, and it hurts. It hurts. We used to be able to be put into soak rotations and make sure that we could soak every 2 minutes. Now we have to wait every 3 minutes, which usually in a boss fight only lasts maybe 1 or 2 different soaks. So there's a lot better, I guess there's better people out there that can do this. So not something we care about. Don't worry about my PvP talents; these are subject to change. I haven't messed with those too much. What do we expect here in the future? In beta, they are still running a Blade Dance build. Not to say Blade Dance is not in there for us if we want to use some kind of AOE rotation. Blade Dance still gets there. So as of right now, Blade Dance isn't there for us. We just have it if we do want to use it on 5 or more targets. Correction, at 5 targets. So it's still an AOE capable damage output. You barely want to use this, I'm telling you, because if you can get back to an I-beam, I-beam will create that demonic. We get more damage and we become demonic for a little bit for that 6 seconds, which lets us Chaos Strike more, which lets us get back more of the orbs to get back to I-beam again, which generates all this haste and stuff and makes this immolation cooldown go down. very, very quickly. The last thing I really, really want to talk about, and this one's the one that we're missing out on, is Unbound Chaos. Now that Fell Rush is back in a rotation, throwing out Blade Dance and adding our Fell Rush into the rotation is huge, because every time we use Immolation Aura is going to kick up a proc of Fell Rush that's going to do 3,000 more damage in an AoE when you slam into the targets that you're getting ready to hit. This becomes a massive AoE bomb. I know we pulled a pack inside of the raid where we had about 12 to 15 mobs. I jumped in there and did about 15k damage, which you don't really see very much of that anymore. You see like 3 to 5k damage overall single target, but as in an AoE, I was doing 50k drops on them, along with I-beam getting back to Immolation Aura doing an AoE itself. All of this kind of generated a really high AoE without even using Blade Dance, which is pretty saddening because I really, really like it. Because we're using Fell Rush though, now we're back to using Vengeful Retreat to jump out, and then to jump back in with our Fell Rush, because it gives us that actual distance where we started to where we ended. So pretty smart, pretty good stuff. I think I'd like to see momentum builds come back, but I think the way I've seen most people playing it in beta, we're back to Blade Dance with some of the new talents, because once we get back up to 60 in our spell books, we see that we're going to get some of these abilities back. They're increasing our Fell Rush damage, so at 52 you're still going to be doing what we're doing right now. Metamorphosis, the cooldown of I-beam and Blade Dance is immediately reset. That just gives us our Azerite talent, the Chaotic transformation. So Chaotic transformation just gives us that ability because they're taking these Azerite pieces away from us. We're getting Chaos Strike, increasing the damage of Chaos Strike, and then Furious Gaze. We're going to see more haste out of that, which is just another talent when they take away Furious Gaze here. So Furious Gaze and Eyes of Rage kind of work together where we had all this happening kind of passively inside of our talents in BFA. They're going to take that away from us, but then give it back to us in our talents. So we're going to still see a lot of Fell Rushing, just because this extra damage increase with Unbound Chaos is going to be pretty nuts. The baseline for Prepatch, them giving us some of the stuff for baseline, was pretty cool. We do get a little bit of resistance, and more so in Vengeance. So this is our Havoc run through real quick. If you want to stop by and make sure you come into stream and check me out, I am at Chaz Xavier. If you want to come into the Twitch and just yell at me at Twitch at Chaz Xavier1, which is right there on the screen by my logo, is right there. Just come in and do some chatting with me. As always, on the Horde side, I do have a few Alliance teams. I do a lot of keys. I'd like to see you come into stream and we could do some keys together. But as of right now, that's my Havoc, and hopefully you enjoy this video.